Oh, one of the craziest things we filmed for this Ghost Gun episode was actually these teenagers that were also making 3D and ghost guns, and they came to the desert with us, and we spent a whole day with them shooting guns and showing us what they build. And they were also making drop-in sears, which are little pieces that transform a gun from semi-automatic to fully automatic. And they're illegal actually in America. You can't buy that at a gun store, but they're making them for 50 cents. Yeah, it's a crazy world.
How much how much of an education are you getting in how fucked we are by your show? Because I would be very pessimistic if I had gone to all the places that you've gone to and seen all the chaos that you've seen.
I'm not. I'm not pessimistic at all. I think one of the biggest surprises for me filming this show has been finding out that even the people, not all, but the majority of the people that I've met involved in these illegal activities around the world, that they are very much people just like you and me. And it is more often than not because of a lack of opportunities that they end up involved in a life of crime. And I think, there is the idea that no matter how far I travel to the edges of our society and that I can still find people who are relatable and redeemable makes me actually have a very optimistic view of the world. Of course, that doesn't apply to everyone. When I'm interviewing white supremacists who talk about, wanting death for minorities or, other people that I've interviewed.
Have you done that? You've interviewed?
Yeah, we did. We did an episode.
Is that on this season?
It's on season 2, last season, on white supremacy.
Where did you go?
We went to Denver. We interviewed
Denver?
There is we interviewed a couple of people in Denver, one of which was a 28-year-old, I believe he was I can't remember what he was by day, but he showed up wearing a swastika, and he was talking about a race war, and he was going to do everything he could to make this race war start. And he was part of Atomwaffen, which is a big white supremacist group that has actually been responsible for some deaths in the U.S.
How many of those people just need, somewhere to belong to? And this is, something that they find that they can find a bunch of people that are energized about a very specific cause, and then they find that if they align themselves with this group, there's a camaraderie and a brothership in this cause, even if it's ridiculous and disgusting.
I think a lot of them.
Yeah.
I think the vast majority of them, actually.
Lost people.
Yeah, and it's the danger of the internet, right? Because it's a loudspeaker. Unfortunately, it's a place where you can find that community, but that community is not always good.
It's a danger of psychology, too, right? That people are easily manipulated and they want to belong to a group, and especially if they think that it's some sort of a secret group that other people don't know about, and that they have this cause they think is, valid or just.
Or make sense of the world. Maybe if they feel like the world is not is unjust towards them, they feel like there has to be a reason behind it, so maybe it is. Did
you ever see when W. Kamau Bell went and interviewed a bunch of KKK? He's great at that because he's such an easygoing, likable guy. He's so nice and so smart that when they're with him, they're like, hey, you're different. And I'm like, hey, man, you need some black friends. There's a lot of people like that out there, you fucking idiot. Yeah. It's like these poor, sad, lost people, and then they're committed to this thing. This horrible idea. I know. So much of it comes out of ignorance, too. Yeah, most of it. Yeah, I know. And foolishness. Yeah. And it's just, it's so disheartening that that's prevalent. It is. It's very sad. Yeah, that sense of community is really missing for a lot of people. But, unfortunately, it leads to a lot of hate as well. So those were the people that, for me, were really difficult to empathize with. Yeah, I would imagine. What did you do this season? We did ghost guns. We did one on LSD, psychedelics. It was my first time ever doing a story on psychedelics. It's a great episode. We basically spent
months and months trying to get an interview with an LSD chemist. There's only a few of them out there.
Yeah, there's only like 5 or 6 in the whole country, which is crazy.
I know.
I just found that out recently.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. And we kept hearing about these hermit chemists who live out in the forests and are hidden. And I mean, we interviewed so many people and talked to so many people to try to get access to. And in the end, it was we got access to a chemist who is no longer a chemist, but it was one of the most powerful interviews we ever did.
So he quit after you interviewed him?
No, he got in trouble. He was an LSD chemist, and he did time in prison, basically, in the UK. And he's American, and he's now living in Montana, and he lives out of school bus in Montana. And it was a really powerful interview because, I spent so much time reporting on drugs and talking to people who do it because of the money. And with psychedelics, we've filmed a lot of people involved in the psychedelics business selling mushrooms and LSD, and not one single one of them was doing it because of the money. They all told us how they were doing it because of the power of the drug and how LSD has changed them and transformed them, and they really believe in the power of the drug in terms of sort of liberating and raising consciousness in the world. And he was one of them. So here I was finally in front of a chemist who spent, years of his life making LSD, and then and he started crying, bawling, and talking about how, when I asked him, do you know other active chemists out there? And he told me, look, I do, but I would never give you that name because I would take away from them what has been taken away from me. And he starts bawling, talking about what LSD meant for him, what making LSD meant for him, and how he was robbed of his life's meaning. It's really incredible. I was not expecting it.
So he felt like his life's meaning was to provide it.
To provide it and to allow people to experience what he experienced at a young age.
Did you have any preconceived notions when you went into that were dissolved?
Absolutely. Again, I think the financial component. Most people that are involved in drug trafficking or the making of drugs do it because of money. And, I don't use drugs, never have, because I'm afraid of losing control. I've tried weed, of course. I tried hash. One of the episodes we have for the upcoming season is actually about hash because it's the first drug I tried when I was growing up in Portugal.
It's decriminalized in Portugal.
It's decriminalized. Right? Portugal has an amazing success when it comes to drugs. It's pretty cool.
That's part of the problem with illegality, right? When things are illegal, only criminals are selling them, and then law-abiding people are prohibited from taking them.
That's right.
Which is, Terence McKenna once famously said that freedom includes the freedom to explore your own consciousness. And if you deny people that, you're denying them a basic human right.
Yeah.
And I think he's right.
Yeah.